Okay, all set on this end. Hopefully, we got sound, the vibes are vibing, and just hey, I can hear you. Would be great. Greetings all this happy day. Yeah, happy day, Frankagina, and everyone in here. Jay Baba. Yeah, yes, thank God, Jay Baba. Thank God. Happy day, Jay Mayor Baba. Praise Jesus Christ. God bless all here. Thank you. Wonderful prayers. We need to say prayers for each other. That is exactly what we need to do. Thank you very much. Hello, John. Hope everyone is having a glorious Sunday. So wonderful to hear from you. The Poe family, Pauletta included, obviously, and of course. I just can't even say enough about how thankful I am for the support, Pauletta. Thank you, Pamela. Wow. It really makes it possible. Some of this work is very difficult. And, you make it so I could stay consistent when it's really not easy. And I appreciate that. Thank you. Uh, and Dee Dee, wow. That's just such a generous donation. And I'm really happy about the results. Obviously, most of all, that's a long time coming. You're working on a bunch of giant miracles at once. I'm just saying one giant miracle doesn't hurt. When you're doing a few giant miracles in a row, one giant miracle doesn't hurt. And I'm really happy for you. So I'm glad God is blessing the people that really, love God, stick with God. And, I'm an agent of change, right? I'm an agent of change. So, hey, pay your agent. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, I think it's cool how that's sort of a mindset people have, and I think it's righteous. It is a way. Uh, I got to play the agent, and y'all support that and have incredible, reap the incredible bounty. And I'm very happy that it's consistently doing that, especially for people that have been with me, Dee Dee. It's been a long time, so I really like to see that things are starting to get properly organized. I told you, come on a pilgrimage, right? And I got held up for this and that over the years, and then it didn't. And now, boom. So I'm really happy about that. I'm saying I'm very happy. I hate, I wouldn't like to be agent of, hey, I'm working for God, and nothing happens. And, oh, pilgrimage was a dud, that kind of stuff. That would have helped anyone. So we have to spend our time in a meaningful way, purpose be it to get to God. It's going well. I appreciate the support, but I most appreciate the support you're getting from God. That's why I'm doing the work, that y'all get supported by God. That's it. So, um, Reagan, of course, Reagan too. What a family. My goodness. let's not forget the one that can't speak, the super cutie. All right. Alex, good to have you. Romeo, oh, J Baba, to you too, buddy. Thank you. That's great to have you. Not a dud. That's, aw, aren't you sweet? I'm gonna try cover a little ground this week. I know it's not necessarily all completely 100% cohesive. It is different information. But my goal is, as soon as I have a clear method to explain something, some piece of knowledge that pushes you forward into even clearer understanding of our situation, because knowledge is power, simply give you the information. And so I feel like if hey, this isn't an absolutely cohesive piece of information, I don't feel like leaving something out that might be helpful to you. So Even if it's a few little pieces of disjointed stuff, I want to give it to you so you in a timely way, because this is a timed game, a timed event. The sooner you get the information, the sooner you have it, the sooner you can put it to work. I like that. So, um, and my work isn't easy getting this information. I don't know, it's good for you to come around to see. Uh, but once I got it, I don't want to lose it, and I want to give it to those that matter most, and also kind of like make a record of it so it's out there so people can have it if they want. Okay. Jay, all right, Jason. Good to have you all. Okay, let's get into a little bit of this. Oh, but before I do, listen. J Bob, all right. That's the lady. I was talking about. Okay. I'm gonna say a prayer that God kills your enemies, sends them to hell before you ever meet them. Your life, your passage, your family's life is happy. We're entering the last 8 years now, very soon, like September 11th. So super soon, end of the summer. They fall. You know what I'm saying? It's time for fall. Hey, fall down, get out of the way. Um, and there should be a noticeable difference when we're getting to the reaping part of the harvest season, which is the last 8 years. So there should be a noticeable difference between what's happening with the weeds and what's happening with the wheat. That separating the wheats from the chaff, right? That's there's it's gonna you're gonna notice. Okay, that's because everything is leading up to this. Everything else is fake. So you got to notice. People aren't even noticing unless I tell them. So people are going to notice, and it's going to be more and even more. Like, it's everything in all movies and songs and that. So many doomsday, this, that, the other things, like the Avengers Doomsday is coming out. I don't know if you know the Avengers new movie. It's called Doomsday. Doctor Doom, da da da. So I'm just saying. And this cycle is consistent. At the beginning of the cycle, oh my God, Eden, here we are. Look at all the fish and the birds, and good God, the hippies are having just. Can you have more fun as an adult? Impossible. And is everything more beautiful? You start there and then gets harder, and it matches the spiritual plane, right? Reaches seventh place, and the eighth plane is like, I received all the knowledge. Now, it's time for a change up in here, right? What's the point of having, hey, here's a horrible game that's horrible the whole time, and it's still horrible the whole time? How as super unexciting that would be. Hey, the evil ones win right up until the final everything, unlike every other movie and every song. Like, there's always an underdog. Hey, that's the way all of our programming is. That's the way God made it. So, hey, it's gonna be tough, and then wait, good stuff happened to me. It's like, what the heck? Thanks, God. Hey, what's going on? And everybody else is like, you had good things happen because this happened here. So there's going to be a shift, okay? And that should be noticeable. And I'm glad to see that happening individually. So more I share the knowledge, the more aware of the situation you are. Your oars in the water, paddling merrily along, see the whole thing, no turbulent water. Isn't this wonderful, right? That's what we want to switch over to consistently. So the name of this one is called Spiritual Center. Okay, so kind of the theme of this today's information is that information. Okay, so I'll go into that. Getting towards the end of this particular section of the time loop, exactly this season, right? And then we're going to be in the last season, the reaping season, the harvest season, the final 8 years. It's going to be 8 year harvest. So a harvest is what? You separate the good crop from the bad, and then you send the bad stuff to the compost, getting ready for next time. That's it. That's it. You don't see God thinks that way, as it sees that way in the seasons, and you'll see that in everything around you, and that didn't make just common sense based on what you see. The stars do this, and then they do that. Everything is cyclical here. Everything is in a cycle. Everything. Uh, okay, so spiritual center. Um, it's how did Mayor Baba say it? Now let's. He said it. Without the light, there is no shadow. Uh, but there can't be shadow with no light. That's impossible. See what I'm saying? So now there's got to be God right here to make a shadow, to make this shadow realm of duality. Um, God has to be present somewhere, even if you can't see God, or else there's no duality. It's just all horrible. That also has to extend to uh, our human experience. There has to be some human that can be like, okay, you got to beat the game and you got to be here to tell us what's up. I'm playing that role. Very few think so. Point being, if I were to die, the game would end because there's no shepherd. There's no one has the knowledge. No one has access to it. The one God created to do that isn't here, and it'd be like, okay, well, there's no point to the game. So the game will continue. It won't end earlier. It won't end later. That would mean that God is not fair. It's That's not possible. And God is forever. So there's one character that's gonna be forever. Has to be, or else there's no uh oh, God is always changing or what. No. Point is, God is never changing. That's the whole point of this, is God is never changing. The game appears to change, and there's so many different changes going on, but once you see it, there has never been a change. God is unchanging, the game is unchanging, there's nothing new under the sun, everything is exactly the same. Doesn't that level of boredom possibilities carry you to God? you know? So, Chris, good to have you here. Heavy into the information, Chris. Good for you. Um, okay, so it's a spiritual center, right? Has kind of two different meanings, basically. One meaning is, oh, that's a place like the Bear Baba Center. Oh, that's a spiritual center. Yep, totally. It is. Another meaning for spiritual center is, what is the center of this spiritual game? What's the center point of it? Is it actually, like where you see the drum circle, that center point of the hidden devil's kingdom, that everything uh, revolves around the North Star, and, you know, Polaris and the hidden kingdom of the devil, which is obviously there. You can't go to it. All the navies protect it, and et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, it's there. So, is that the actual center, the center of the only verse? This one verse is continuing time loop in one single location. All of the locations don't exist except for heaven or hell, the moon, hell, and the sun, heaven. The other places just nowhere else exists. Okay, except for with God, which is past the games. You're out of the gameville. You're back home. Uh, So I'm just trying to say, it's important for you to know where you are in, what's the center of this situation. The center is not the shadow. The center is not the center point of the physical revolving, miracle prison we find ourselves in. It's not that. It's the spirit. This is a spiritual game, so the spiritual center is who's top on the spiritual hierarchy. That's the center of it, and that's the center of where events happen. So this is a karma game. So if actions happen and knowledge happens, the center of where that happens, that's the center point. That's the center, the spiritual center. You see? So having a spiritual center to gather is stuff where I'm not going to go is kind of like pointless because nothing's going to happen. It'd be like going to the Baba Center for all the Baba lovers. So like, we go to the Baba Center because nothing ever happens up in here. Get out of here. We don't. We don't want your kind in here. Read the book. It's supposed to happen sometime in the future. Okay, get out of here. They're such a. It's so. Yeah, that stuff ain't for us or you, especially. Yeah, and get. They're such a mess, aren't they? They just want unchanging, consistent, It's like, well, you shall have it. Because, like, granted, well, forever. They're like, forever's good. Okay, forever it is. You might want to read some of the books while you're there. Maybe that will change your mind. Like, this ain't changing my mind at all. This is just, I want to be here more. This is great. Look at the food. Look at, man, look at the balconies and everything. This place is so affordable. What? We got our own spiritual country club out here. This is legit. Thanks, God. Yeah, don't do any of that, actual spiritual talky stuff around us and asking questions. Just do not even. Okay, you're banned. That crew, you know what I'm saying? We want the loop. We're playing our character, and we're doing it forever. Okay, good for you. Created differently than us. Obviously, we had to come through that consciousness, and we did, and we got to the other side of it. Now we're playing the game, and we just want to go home to God. It's like, thanks for the tour of the place and everything. Thanks for writing back home. Thanks, God. Having as best time as possible. Uh, could improve. Waiting to get home. Okay. So if you're talking about a spiritual center, point being, it's where I got to be. I go to the drum circle roughly, 3 times a week. So it's not a building. It's where I am. That's where they do the stuff all around me. That's why Mayor Baba like, hey, did you notice there's a fence around my house? I'm like, yeah. Get away. Give me a few minutes, all right? Jeez. It's hard having around here where I live spiritually all the time. I try to get some downtime, but it is consistent getting the knowledge. So these gatherings, they handle that and have been serving their purpose well, I think, because people get results from doing it, and then they get different levels of results. They get massive, miraculous changes in their life, sure, and they also, have a come down where it's like a slower pace. It's like, okay, I actually need some time to process this whole God thing. So some of that, there's upheaval and miraculous changes, and then it settles in where you're grounded in your life and knowledge and so on, and God starts helping you as you go. So, and I'm saying in these last 8 years, that'll even become a bigger part of what's going to be our experience here. Okay. The tide has to change. God is the ocean, and God's, been thrown a hurricane of difficulties here for quite a while, but the sea changes. The tide goes in the other direction, and that's simply a fact. If you mass up all the water behind a dam up over here, it's like, nope, that water's never coming down. It's like, yeah, what the water has a different idea, and whatever's trying to hold it isn't in the end. There's no way you're gonna stop it. It's going to happen. The yin yang symbol will happen. Will happen. It will happen. That's like a wave. So that will happen. It will happen regardless of anything. But me being like the tour guide and giving out information means you have a better ride. Okay. Okay. So I say we consider, sticking with what's been working. Uh, I don't know about going to Germany, but I know it totally worked being around here and visiting here. And I think people had a good time when they came. And I think when you come, get to see the place a little more and understand a little more and see for a reason I'm here, could do it at not super busy times of the year because that happens here. So I just want to throw that out there, and then you just rent space and it's not like, hey, we got to get where's our beer bottle center? So, you know what I mean? Figuring out a thing to do next time. I think it'll just sort of like evolve in the process of continuing gathering. That's what I have learned going from drum circles. Like you learn more, stuff evolves, it gets funner, easier, more known, like that. So, and we'll find better ways to do it. I love the Baba said DD. I probably missed a whole bunch of stuff. Did I? Did I? Let me see. Yeah, let me check. Yeah. Jay, all right. I would love to go to the center hole and see that, Jay, right? Yeah, but not under the conditions you would have to be one of them to go see it. You're like, well, in that case, yeah, my height is not the right height measurement. Like, I don't fit in your little, I don't fit in that, in the chains rowing. I don't want to do that. I mean, you have to really, yeah, no. That doesn't actually sound good, but do you have a photo or something? Do you have a video? You have one of those, like, where you're driving down the road videos? Show me that one, I could go for that. I'm with you on that one. I see you think about, "Yeah, but how do you get there?" Like, "Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound fun." Totally, Jay. Didi, fresh water and salt water together. Ah, yes. I love the Baba Center that I don't. It's a shame. That's what I'm saying, and that's part of their job, and they got it right. "Hey, we're gonna help," and then you see where we end, and then you actually gotta go do what he says and find a perfect master alive, and you actually have to do that at the end of the game, or else what? Their guys wasn't speaking the truth, so but it's a lot of truth there, and so, they did their role. "Hey, last carnival stop going by now. Get out of here. We'll be here. Okay, see you later. It's a nice spot, isn't it? Don't come back here. All right, see you. This is a blessing. Get out of here. Seriously, don't ever. If we see you at this place again, like, yeah, I'm gonna do that in front of them. So, you want me to go in there? Actually, fine, fine. I'll feel like you want to see what it's like to be me. Fine, I'll go in. The driver's so sweet. Oh, well, no, it's all worked out. Like, okay, I'll teach them this. This isn't gonna be what I really actually want to do after such a long journey, but because they're so tired too and all that after this, they will never forget this. And so, oh, let's go do it. For sure, ejected. And you ejected him? It's like, yeah, you're no better soon. It's like, get out of here too. That's their job. And they did it like, wait, what? They did their job perfectly. So now we're forced to gather on our own. Great. Let's just keep it up. Fantastic. And we'll keep at it. All right. So I love to, it's such a uh, great and important crew, as steady crew. The Poe family would have the youngest won. So they, how we can gather or win matters most, and they have the most. We have the most votes in NATO. It's like, yeah, you do. So, you know, just actually, just yeah, check with the Poe family, and we'll see what. That's all the politics. Uh, and just think about that, and we'll think about another time to be here. Everyone's got stuff going on in their life and everything. So think about it that way. And we can consider other things over time. All right. I'm not saying there's any rush to gather anything either. I'm not. I'm saying there's good times of year to be here, not in the super winter. And I would say not in the summer either, because all the kids are out of school. It's great in like spring and fall are really fantastic here when the water's warm and nobody's around doing anything. It's so wonderful. It's so I love the summer too. Summer's good everywhere except for like Siesta Key. Summer's still pretty quiet, but it's kind of cool too because there's super many younger people that uh, the young prisoners have emptied out of the prisons, out of the schools. And so, if you want to come when there are more children and stuff, that's the time to come in the summer. It's great. The beaches have a lot of families, a lot of children. They're having a great time. It's fun. The teenagers are having a blast at Nokomis Beach over by the little bridge and all gathering and having, you know, the time of their lives. What a great place to live. So there's that. Think about those things. Winter's just super many people here, but it's better than freezing. I know where y'all are freezing up there, but those are the things about being here. Okay. All right. And prices are dropping in Florida means, not just for purchases stuff, but also rentals, which is good. And more options too. People like Florida, good. Keep it, let's keep this theme up. Less people here, the better. Yes. More parking spaces at the beach, cheaper to be here. Fantastic. Goodbye. Okay, so that's what I kind of wanted to say about gathering at a spiritual center. It doesn't need to be a physical place. I just need to be there. And then it extrapolates from there. You see what I'm saying? Oh, if that's the center and that's spiritual hierarchy is a center, then okay, then the rest of the people in the hierarchy, that's the spiritual center. That's the center. That's the ones, those are the ages making the change. So them gathering has profound impact on everything here, including the individuals, but also, you know, everything out there. So, okay. All right. So, think about that. What might be a good next time, no rush or anything like think of it that way. All right. I got a bunch of things I want to go into here. I think it's important too. All right. Let's let's do, you know, like an album, like a record, a stereo album, listen to music. Wonderful. Music is a wonderful spell. The songs never change, so they're always saying the same uh, thing. You know, they're not saying another thing than exactly what I'm saying. We're in a 64-year time loop. It's going to start again. So every record, you know what I'm saying, like an album put up by an artist, it's all them, and they didn't create those songs. They're singing them again in this time loop. So each record is basically a song of the time loop and also a song of spiritual awakening. What happens in that time loop from first play, spiritual play to seventh, and then to abiding in the one, right? To the four journeys or whatever. Oh, you're still here. Okay. It's my journey, but, because I match the loop exactly, day by day, but it's also your journey. It's everyone's journey. It's our journey. There's one theme, one song we're all living it. You see, everyone. The whole place exists for only that purpose. And so every record is saying the same thing. Let's do you know, break the record. Oh, you broke the record. Nice. You know, you want to break your record. Your character has a record. Think of it that way. It's doing exactly you want to kick that needle in a haystack. You want to kick that thing off the groove and make it so you get out of here. Break the record. Don't just get out of there. You need to my I'm not gonna be my character. You must move past your character. You must break your record, break your script, break your character, break past that. Don't give up your character. Play your character, but understand what's going on. Play your character perfectly. I try to, but also, hey, I'm playing a character. That's the perfect playing of a character. My first guru, Matthew, one of my first gurus anyway, he was very memorable. I've probably said this before, but he was into acting crazy. Uh, but his favorite actor was James Cagney, and this is a quote Matthew would tell you. He's like, "Is what when James Cagney was asked what number one American actor ever, basically, uh, you know, was asked, "Hey, what makes you such a great actor?" And he says, "Oh, when I get on stage, I say my lines. That's it." And so them characters, they come on stage and they say their lines. And so that's what we must do. See that we're character playing the lines, but you're past that and you went out of the Mama Center. Love it, but the dome hated it. Loved your section of the dome, hated the dome. Okay, okay, good, good. Okay, wasn't you. It was sort of you, but you're sort of in the dome and you sort of suck there at the end. Okay, like everything in the dome. Alan, good. Oh, yeah, I agree. I've received some thoughts on future gatherings recently. I'm glad. That's what I've been hearing, and I've been seeing incredible results out there for people of shifts in their lives. I try and carefully hold a space for you as that occurs in your life and not in any way take advantage of you or anything happening in that time or whatever. Give you the information you need. You know, you exit the other side of the hurricane and you're like, whoa, is there anything left here? I'm like, well, you're left. You're like, oh yeah, I am. So you make it through the other side, and it's like, okay, you're good. You're good. You're back on dry land here. How you doing? You steady? Hold on to something. Just hold on and have a drink. Sit down over there for a second and chill out. Relax a minute, okay? Let me know if you need anything. You good? You're like, okay, you're good. So, there's massive changes after having a gathering. You got to kind of process through it, sit with it and so on like that. So you're doing good, but you got to break the record. So let's talk about records for a second. So records are, the songs are consistently on an album. First song is this, second song is this, talking about the spiritual awakening that happens according to God. Like pretty much every album. I haven't gone through every album, mind you, but I think you'll find that you could easily decode everyone like that. And I'll use one example, okay, which is a super easy example. And then once I use a super easy example, then you'll see this elsewhere, especially you musicians. Um, I got some musicians here, and not that I'm into timing, so I don't know anything. I learned from music. I receive that language, and I hear it, and I know what it's saying. That's what I that's what happens on my end, but the details of how to create it and make it and stuff like that, that's the other end. I just get receive the information from it, you see? So, but no way I'm creating it like that. I don't have an interest in doing that because, what am I gonna be? That's something that happens to them. It's a gift that's given, and something, that's here for super duper long, but I don't have an interest in being that. I don't. Like, I got a band, but I ain't interested in being in my band, you know? I'm just saying. I love when the drum circle annoys me and stuff, and they have something to say to me. It's like I say something like that to 'em. I'm like, "Man, I don't need the band give me any get out of here. Play the freaking songs, okay, and keep it to yourself." No, I'm kidding. Musicians, I'm making a joke. And they don't like that joke, so they don't come over and hear it very well, and so my band has improved, and they're better, and they're happy, great. But that's my job, for them too. It is. Okay, let's use an example. I'm gonna use an example of a record. Let's use, Grateful Dead's, uh, "Wake of the Flood," okay? I mean, this is, where is it? Here we go. "Wake of the Flood" is, uh, an album put out by the Grateful Dead right around I don't know the date it came out, but this is, like, the first one after the jump, after we get into, 1969, 1970 right there. This is, like, their first album. Uh, right around there. One of them. Anyway, this was called "Wake of the Flood." So, a wake of a flood is what happens after the flood, right? Okay. So, the first song is, like, first played, and the first part of "Time," Mississippi Half Step Uptown Toodaloo. Just a whole you're here like, "Woohoo!" You know what I mean? It's like, that sounds like a fun song. Anyway, the first words of the song are, uh, "On the day when I was born, daddy sat down and cried." You know what I'm saying? So that's that's the first words of that song. And then it goes into "Let Me Sing Your Blues Away," right? Like it's like, hey, we're in the second part of the time. Like, no, it was good up front. It got hey, it's almost the 80s now. Yeah. And then Road Jimmy is next, the third plate is like, get you like get me out of here. Keep moving forward. You're in the family and stuff like that. And then we hit Stella Blue, which is a fourth play, which is a deeply troubling, moving, you know, the most painful play, wailing, difficult, individual, pangs of hell song. And then you make it through the fourth plate, and then the next song is Here Comes Sunshine. It's like, yay, get me out of the time loop, hooray. Then the sixth plate is Eyes of the World. You're standing above the world, you can see the whole place, you understand the whole thing. And then the last song, it is actually a double song, literally. It's called Weather Report Suite, so it's the sweetest songs, which is really two songs. One is Prelude. So the last 8 years, this harvest season, you call it a prelude, yes? So it's called Prelude. And then the next song, which is the eighth song, right, is called Let It Grow, which is like, reblossoming of everything. So now I'm just saying that's an example of an album which follows the consistent, easy to see, constructed structure, like I was explaining about albums. But I think on a deeper, once you see the easy, basic structure, you'll see the structure on every album. Uh, Now let's get into an individual song, and we'll do. I'm going to do this song, another one by the Grateful Dead. I just listed a bunch of their stuff. I haven't recently, but their stuff is American popular, and obviously it's going to match the time loop. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to be easy to show this. Uh, let's continue. Jason, I certainly plan on attending the next gathering. Fantastic, Jason. Jay, when I was a kid, I get the Beatle album with the track number 9. Exactly. The White Album. Jason, we're all on our own spiritual journey here within the Crystal Dome. That's true. It's always the same. So, the next song I'm going to decode as an individual song. And I know we got some musicians here, so I'm going to take it to the next level here for you all. Next song, I'm going to go over another Grateful Dead song. It's called The Wheel. Obviously, The Wheel of Time, okay? So I'm going to look at my notes on this because it's. All right. Now, obviously, this is going to talk about the time loop. That's all it's talking about. And there's, quote, timing in music. But there's another kind of timing here in the spell of the words itself that I want to go into today. Okay. I'm gonna go line by line. All right. So first line uh, is the wheel is turning and you can't slow down. So it's 4. The wheel is turning and you can't slow down. 4 plus 4. So, and the word and is there. 4 and 4. The next slide. So that's the first line. 4 and 4. You can't let go and you can't hold on, right? And this is talking about duality. See, there are many themes in this, obviously. I'm not going to go into all the time loop things. I want to show timing and numbers here as signs and symbols. This embedded within a hippie song. Like, there's no way they wrote this. You see what I'm saying? Like, God raised the script and they simply acted. There is no way they came up with this level of detail. It's flat out impossible. This embedded numerology is impossible. You could never do this if you were given a million lifetimes. It's just impossible. So, first line, 4 and 4. Second line, you can't let go and you can't hold on. 4 and 4. Third line, you can't go back and you can't stand still. 4 and 4, 4 and 4 and 4. That's the first slide. 4, 4, 4, 64. That's the first, right? Now, the next line is 10 words. If the thunder don't get you, then the lightning will. That what is 0 is the time loop, right? It's separation. That's the separation, yeah? It's like an amoeba. Okay, it's just still one amoeba. Now it's 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we got to what is 0, right? Okay, end of time is separate the loopers, the zeros, from the ones who get to God, right? That's the end of time number. That's explaining it happened. You see, 4 and 4, 4 and 4, 4 and 4, then 10. End of time that we separate them. That's it saying in the number 64 right there. Just in the opening chorus. That's the opening chorus. See what I'm saying? There we go. Oh, here we go again. Now what's next? Okay, because so that's like, you know, 4 parts there. That's the opening of the song. Then it goes into, now we're in the fifth line. Won't you try just a little bit harder? Okay, that's 8. Couldn't you try just a little bit more? 8. Won't you try just a little bit harder? Couldn't you try just a little bit more? 8, 8, 8, 8. Infinite, infinite, infinite. Can you try just a little bit harder? It's infinite trying harder. It never ends. It never ends. It never ends. Right? So again, that's 4 eighths, right? And telling you about it again. 8, 16, 32. Here we go with all the numbers. Then the next line is round. And then it does a comma. Rob it round, comma, round, 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 robin, run round, got to get back to where you belong. Okay, so that is round, right? That's the time loop, round, right? One word, round. Then we do round, robin, round. That's 4. Got to get back to, got to get back. That's 4. Then to where you belong. 4, 4, 4. Yeah? So in one sentence, that's the time loop. See what I'm saying? That's what it says. What one line of the lyrics. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then we start repeating here, basically, the numbers. Then we get to in lines 12, 13, and 14. Now we're back to uh little bit harder for just a little bit more, little bit further than you're going before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? Yeah, so this is a 4, 4, repeater, but it's 999. Okay, so it's again a 4 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we move on to number 15. Again, it's 10 words. The wheel is turning, and you can't slow down. Oh, here. You can't let go. You can't hold over. Back to the 4 repeating. And then, anyway, not to go, but just to break it through, we got that is, repeating 8 8. That's line 16 is 17. Number 10 is 18. It goes on and repeats. So, and it's 28 lines. 2 and 8 is 30. So, it's all about the numbers and the time loop. Okay, I went into detail in one song a little bit. I could bring it down, overly get into detail. My point being, I mean, I could be here a long time. My point being, they know this time loop, and every song is about it. Everything they're singing, they don't say anything else. There are no other signs and symbols. Once you see it for what it is what it is, and there's nothing else that's going on. Nothing else is gonna go on. It's always gonna be this. You see, and they know. They sing every song. How can you say? I mean, for people to say, "What are you talking about?" It's like how everything they do all day long is always a time loop. Everything, and you say they don't know what? It's like, what are you talking about? Gypsy, why don't you leave the drum circle so quick? You was only there for 5 minutes. I wanted you to meet a couple of my friends that were there. We're all there to visit you. Yeah, I was there pretty long, and then I took a swim at, you know, that sunset was, man, you do not see many like that in a lifetime. So I was up until it got close to the bottom. I was there about 2 hours in a row, maybe a little longer, including the time of the water, about 2.5. Sorry to see you. Frank reminds me of a song by America, Horse Within a Name, exactly what you, and if you were to look at that album, you would see the way it broke down Wake of the Flood. Any album, any artist, it's not, I was just using a very easy example, okay? And I only looked at those numbers and stuff of that song for like 5 minutes before this show or something like that, 10 minutes. Like I did that today. So every song has a pattern and a spell like that. You know, I just want you to be able to see it every record. Uh, Jace has found a gypsy, gypsy 666. Exactly. That's exactly the time loop. Exactly. 666, 1 and 8 equals 9. That's a shadow number. Yeah. It's the hook. The 6 and the 9 is the hook. The fishers of men. That's the devil making fun of, well, me, actually. Right? I'm out there fishing around on the beach. Hey, am I getting any humans? Anybody want to go to God? I'm out there fishing. And devil's got to, oh, let me get you. So, yeah, 3 hooks and a fourth hidden within the hook. It's like, ah, ah, shouldn't have swallowed that one. Should have swallowed what I heard. Uh, totally. Didi, I went to a loved one's birthday party last night. Great. I had to leave after 30 minutes or so. I just should. Never fails. Phone calls. Why did you leave? I never get it. Yeah, I understand. We don't fully have much in common, but you go there to pray for them, actually. So it becomes easier to stay. You pray for them. You see the patterns I talk about. You're like, one more pattern that doesn't have me. Okay. And once you really understand the pattern of what they're trapped in, the whole other team, my God, you feel so sorry for them. I go around and pray for them. I do. I go around and pray for them. Oh my God, poor lot over here. I can't help you with money because you got all that. Can't help you with land because you got all of it. Can't help you with stuff. So I'm going to pray for you that you improve. Okay, that's our job. That's That's why to go, Dee He was just like, "That's not that fun." I'm like, "No, it isn't." True. Jay said, "That's a good example. Frank, I know now that there are numerous songs by different artists that relate to this material we are dealing with. Probably one huge reason why the musician Ronnie James Dio has such an affinity interest for rainbows. Yeah, obviously, they're all saying the same thing, you know? Yeah, Dion. Is that Dion? Am I thinking of Mountain? Uh, First there was a mountain, then there is a mountain, then there is. That's the whole time loop. It's so beautiful. And the Allman Brothers did a song on that song called Mountain Jam. It was like 30 minutes long on Eat a Peach, right? For you Southerners. Anyway, yeah. First there was a mountain, then there was oh wait. First there was is a mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is. First there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is. It's so beautiful, and yet it's so exactly the time loop. Oh my gosh. They're always saying the same thing, even in just one lyric. They're saying so perfectly. It's impossible. Unless, you know, they're playing a character God divined. The way they what? You came up with that lyric? Give me a break. You just singing it. And I'd sound good singing that song. I wouldn't sound as good as him, but I that thing is how God made that song. It'd sound good if I sang that stupid song. What? See you tonight. Oh, you're going to Siesta? Okay, Gypsy. See you there. Ring it. Answer from AI. You're onto something. Good. While not every song follows this exact blueprint, many popular songs do rely on a structure like this 4/4 time. Yes. 8-bar phrases as sections made. Thank you, Reagan. It means 4 beats per measure and it gives songs a steady, danceable rhythm. Agreed 100%. Think of nearly any chart topping hit, true. It's probably a 4/4 8-bar phrases. Thank you. These are building blocks of music and reality. These are the building blocks of reality. That is the music. Where you see it absolutely perfect in harmony in every song and every hit song, and it hit song mean is popular with the most people, meaning that's the vibration of here. Yes, thank you, Reagan. Thank you. I heard God. I heard there's musicians that needed to hear this and see this. How see the fabric of God and everything, and the way they see the fabric of reality is through music. So I needed to point this out. That even the way you see reality, God says the same thing. And how when you see all the like graphic size of symbols, all the languages, all the music, all the movies, all the songs, like you're like everything consistently is saying this. Like how, unless there's a unified mind, God behind all that, how, in the absence of that, do you have any explanation whatsoever? Give me a break. Thank you, Reagan, for that more musical way to say it. I didn't have that. I just had what God was saying. Count this out. But yes, and it totally matches the numbers of the years, everything in here. You see, and I say within each plane, it's like a year, like it's a mini, it's a season. Yes, a year within each part of each season of 8 years. It's like, okay, you got to go through this spiritual journey, through that spiritual journey. Yes, and then you get some rest to think about it. So 8, 7 mini journeys, and oh my god, okay, wow, what's next? It's like, oh, since you asked, start the next part. You see what I'm saying? Okay, it's all set up like that for you, for everyone. Dee shooting tequila like being at the zoo, bored to tears. Oh, I hear you there. Yeah, the spirits do not bring out anything but the creatures we don't want to hang out with. It's all there. So, oh, you don't want nothing. Okay, well, I have everything I got. So, you want God, right? Let me know. Jay, like being at the zoo. Yeah, no, it is. Jason, they all know about the time loop, crystal dome, rainbows. So yes, they are all saying the same thing, Chuck. Yes. Once you see it, its power ebbs away. Its power over you, the spell you were under, it loses its force on you day after day until one day you're like, it's just gone. You see, Reagan, that was so nice of you to break that down. Thank you. Jason, same as the movie They Live. Yes, 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 they live. They're all saying the same thing to what's going on all the time. Always. Always. If you have eyes to see, yes. Indeed, Jay. Yeah, they are so boring. Same thing over and over. That's what they do with time loop over and over. So they have to like the same thing over and over. That is built into their creation code. That has to be there. That consistent pattern of never want to do the same thing. Like Baba said, habits are spiritual death. You see it say if you get in habits, you die. Oh, I'm here where my family grew up, and then my whole family is around me everywhere. Da, 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 da. That's a spiritual death unless you take a journey, like unless you leave the castle walls like Buddha. You ain't gonna see the world. You have to get out from the walls, go out and see the world, and go out and see. Does your view of reality hold up out there? And see what happens. It breaks down where you learn from it. Yeah, yeah. Right, Reagan nailed it, didn't she, Dee? I agree. Jason, I know exactly the movie you're talking about. Good. They Live is documentary. Nice with Frank. Reagan, the answer from AI keeps going, but you get the point. Yeah, totally, I do. Try making a song not using that voice. That's what exactly like and once you see his power, then you're like, who could figure that out and then, you know, use it and then step outside of it and make it work. Like the Grateful Dead have a song called the 11 beat, and it works. Hey, you made that by what? When it gets complicated, then it's like, then it really, you see, it is impossible. You see the true separation of the, different species there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Indeed, indeed. Tried. In fact, I say, Rayhead, try writing any song, anyone. This would be such an eye-opening. I tried to do this many years ago. I was like, let me try and write a song. Like, look, songs are easy. I'll just write one. Talk about ego ruiner and destroyer. just, just I suggest if you want less ego, try to write a song. Oh my god. Forget about it. No way, no how. Has to come from God. And really has to be, pre-written part of the time. Like, it's not just 448. Like, you have to, what do you say? What do you, oh my God. The whole thing when you can see it. But yeah, if you want your ego ravaged and destroyed and, you know, uh, drawn and quartered and then, burned alive, all that stuff. Try writing a song. Forget about it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, thanks for actually, Frank. I know you're right about that. Yeah. The script never changes. Yep. Jason, if you don't think drink with them, you can sit with them. God bless you. D. Okay. Good. We're all caught up here. All right, let's keep going. All right. I mean, I expose and I mean, what's my role as a character, right? I expose the truth, and the truth is we're in a 60 year time loop, and exposing the truth kind of goes hand in hand with causing it. Yeah. Okay. That's my role. And so think of this. Think of this. If we were to have a team of Avengers, I'm just saying, Avengers, wouldn't you have some old guy that, hopefully knows something in some giant institute, right? The Institute for Spiritual Technology. Hello, John Jagger. You don't even know your name. How you doing? It has some great place where everybody can get a room and chill, like stuff like that, and learn their superpowers and go avenge this business that we've been having up to us. I'm just saying that would be a nice you know, institute. That's kind of the way Los Alamos was like set up. Let's build a spiritual H bomb. We'll all work here. We'll live in the houses around it. So a spiritual center could be, it doesn't have to be. It can be a temporary gathering place. It's not like you live at work. They would hope in the story, even you know that never happened. But it's how do you want to make the spiritual H bomb that might cause the end of the world? It's like yeah. What really? That's technology is gonna do that. Yeah. Okay, so uh having an institute where you gather to cause, you know, create the H bomb. Oh, whoops. And it should be like one time I went to I'm just talking about the perfect, like place for creating spiritual technology. One time I went to first time I went to Wilmington, I went to the ferry. It was such a cool place. I went and visited, and there's this place on the beach there. This is years ago. I don't even know if it's still there, but it was called something like Riceville Beach Club, and it was on the beach, and no one lived there or anything. It was a really big building, and it had showers inside and bathrooms and stuff, and it had like a kitchen and a place where super many people could sit down, like cafeteria style, like have dinner and stuff like that. You pay dues each month, and it was like had a parking lot. You could basically go park at the beach, have a great beach experience. There's a building, go out on the beach, come in, have some lunch and stuff like that. You know, from the jump building right in the perfect spot. It's like you guys live like this. When did this is this a real place? Yeah, I'll move here. Anyway, I went there once. That's the way they live their lives, you see what I'm saying? But that's the way to like the Apple, where they work at the Apple rig. Yeah, at their headquarters. Uh, you know, they go there to work and then they live in a surrounding area and they pick a cheap spot and then they have a tech boom. Whatever. W Our place is getting cheaper, and we had a tech boom. I don't know. Uh, so anyway, that sort of structure, you can't really get outside of it because we're in human bodies. Can't get outside the 4488. Can't get outside of it because we're in a human body. That's the way you hear things. Our legs are this long, our arms are. You see what I'm saying? These are the proportions. So that's how fast we can move in here in this body. This is how the fastest human is this fast. The slowest human. That's all figured out. So what's rhythmic to us matches the body. So song's got to match it. It's danceable. Yeah, you can move your body to it. All that stuff. So the pattern of spiritual H bomb development is kind of laid down. It's kind of obvious. Since we've gathered a few times and so on like that. So you know that's just one way to think of it. If you look at that pattern, what would be easy to do, and they get some rest too. Temporary gathering and then, oh, taking a break. How to do that best. And also come out with the spiritual technology from it, inherently within you, like the Avengers. Now, I can wear a special suit if I want, and I can dress like Clark Kent or just dress like I'm going to the beach, whatever. It's not about what you're wearing, you guys. Oops. Uh, okay. I'm going to keep going through some things because I want to give you all the knowledge I can, all right? I could be savior. That's what I'm saying. Is funny. Yes, I would say it. See the pattern of it. They're always saying the same thing. What's going on? And guess what? We're the only things going on. The rest of it isn't going on. It's fake. Okay. Gypsy, the bad guy always loses in the movies, right? In real life, demons always win. Until the last 8 years, that's what I'm saying. Until Xavier gets the spiritual institute together, and then it's lights out for the other team. Whoops. They lose. Yeah, the word goes, it wouldn't be much of a game if the bad guy wins. So yeah, the bad guy always loses in the end. That's why I'm cool. So, but your point is well taken, and we're almost up to the next 9/11, where the tide shifts. Giddy. That's not real life. It's another life. And they come right back. Yeah, it's funny. Reincarnated back under the crystal dome. Only God is real. Thank you. And that's what it all points out. Uh, okay. Let's I want to be very specific. I thought maybe I'll do a death prayer tour and go to different locations like Asheville. Hey Daniel, how you doing? Pray for your death and the death of your family, and then publicly stand on the street and say, "Hey, y'all are harboring a fugitive from justice, Daniel, and so your town is going to experience similar difficulties like the last flood if you don't, send forth this individual and stop their stealing of my copyrighted work." But then and you know what? That's the thought I get initially. You see what I'm saying? So like an initial thought, but then I'm like, wait, hive mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna save me some travel and some driving and stuff. And guess what? I got a hiver in here. So let's do it. Uh to our enemies. God kill them all and send them to hell for eternity. All the ones stealing my copyrighted work, and all the ones standing in the way of me getting to my children. God, please murder them and send them to hell. Okay. See how easy it is when you got a hive minder in here? Yeah, tell the whole hive. And we're getting near the last 8 years. I ain't prayed that before because I was patient and sweet and kind. But now we're running out of time. And guess what? I'm gonna be grandpa soon. That's what I hear. So I'd rather hang out with my grandson and see all you all die. Not you in here, but everyone else on earth, go ahead. You see what I'm saying? You would have blocked me from seeing my children and now my grandchildren. Okay, okay. You get my death prayer for real. All right. Everyone's stealing my copyrighted work. Daniel Javier, the rest of you. I ain't got no time to go right face to face and give you your death prayer from here. through the hive are in here, die and go to hell. That's you, your family, and the entire hive harboring you in your city and county. They know you're there. They're harboring you. So they will treat you like we were treated at the Obama Center. They will eject you and shut you down, or they will reap the whirlwind from God. Period. That's my prayer for the hive, for the dome. But you go first and we'll watch. That's my prayer. Oh, you don't think it'll work? Yeah. Well, God told me it will. So change your ways. Today's the day. Deadline, right? The line of death, the deadline, 9/11. This year, change your ways or cross the deadline. Cross the deadline, Hive. That is my prayer for you. I got that time for you. We got children to raise, grandchildren to raise. We got things to do up in here that don't include you. So hands off, 6 feet or die. That's it. I pray the same for your family too. No children stealing. No messing with the family. No messing with money. No messing with nobody. Die before we meet our enemy. And if you're out there being my enemy, die today, sooner. Deadline being 9/11. Thank you. All right. You heard me, God. You gave me the thoughts to say this prayer, so you heard me. All right. Very clear, very careful. See, we didn't carry guns, we didn't carry weapons. No. We're carrying God around here. You want to mess with me? All you do is mess with me. Fine. Here's my prayer. Enemies be killed. That's in the book. They're enemies, so die enemies. Okay. You are light and I am dark. Thank you, Gypsy. So notification received. Very good. I appreciate that. Thank you. Jay, I said a rosary, I guess, county prosecutor. The next day, there was a helicopter that hovered over my house for hours straight. Jay just did it for as an experiment. Thank you. God bless you too, Gypsy. I thank you for doing your job. All right. So, for example, let's say a senator in Florida, just an example, you could RV camp in Florida on private land. So, let's say you get a piece of land with a little more land with one house. Okay, there's your shuttle utilities and stuff. You can park RVs around. You got to set up. Boom. All right. Example. Uh, and like I say, right up till they talk about other stuff, blah, blah, blah. Price everything's going down around here. Go to rents and everything. It's like just we just be renting until the walls drop it. Okay, yeah. Anyway, thoughts. Uh okay. Now let's get into a few little practical things, a few little details. Let's stay with the same theme for a minute. Uh I'm not gonna move. Basically, I see properties cheaper elsewhere and houses are cooler. I would rather be in in this table house, expanded version, deluxe version table house. Oh yeah, near the great beach I could get to easily and don't have no parking issues and stuff. For me, that matters more, and the climate and everything. So, haven't gone anywhere for 10 years except for visited. So there's only 8 years left. So it's going to be around here. So I ain't moving. So just that's it. See, center point. I'm just trying to make a point. I ain't moving. I don't care about prices, this, that, and the other thing. The rest of the place is just going to go dark. So I'm just letting you know. Why would I leave this place? It took me a long time to find this place. You came, you saw this place sucked. No, it's amazing. Is it always amazing? No, it's the dome. Um, okay. Okay, Spiritual Technology Institute, day one. What do you want to do today? Well, I have an experiment. I have an idea to. First of all, just consider we're running a spiritual institute, technology institute now. We're just doing it for remote locations, obviously. Okay, so let's say you had an experiment you wanted to do. Here's experiment one. My suggestion. Okay, consider it. We can consider your suggestions next time. Here's my first suggestion. Amazon has, and delivers to your house like 120 to 300 pieces of $100 bill prop money, right? For movies or whatever, right? So it's a prop. Hey, I need a prop. And if you put money that looks like stacks of hundreds, you know what I mean? Like, God dang, that's a lot of money. Uh, in a clear plastic bag in a public place where there are a lot of people, that would be a place to test if a bag could be taken, right? Or not. You can just put like an airline tag on it, property of Jesus Christ. You can try different tags on it. Yeah. What if they don't read it? Well, what if they close their eyes and come up again? So you still want it to work. So you can really just sit there in so many busy locations, especially say like a bus depot where it's like you go to the most horrible place in your town, where all the drunken homeless are chilling and being horrible, put it down there. Uh, Gypsy always gets his stuff stolen, where are they? You see, you just put it down there. You could probably sit there and film it, You could probably just sit there and find a nice shady spot and be like, just put up your camera on a little tripod and boop, you see a read a book or something. Probably ain't gonna take no special cameras, just your phone, clear bag, like an airline tag ticket, and some prop money. Find out real quick if the name of God does anything right here. How about that cash money? And then I like it because there's sort of like it's a karma thing where they'll probably go spend the money and get arrested. So see how it works in both ways? Okay. Gypsy, I will tell them all about it. Good. You just don't know me back then. Now you do. Yes. God bless you. God bless you too. Thank you. Notice received. Thank you. Oh my God, I saved that old time touring and all the money and the angst and the energy. And those are, that's not who I want to hang out with, Daniel and Javier. Far from it. So you see, Spiritual Technology Institute, we're in different places. You receive the information, though. You came and gather, know this character, know how it works, and watch it work. Prayer received. See, Gypsy, have you been to solitary? Good question. Jay, nice one, D. Death Prayer Tour. Right. Gypsy, the Hive has lots of time for you, and we're going to see you soon. True that. Dee Dee, I know men that have been here for years or years. That's darkness. They leave 1 hour a day, or sometimes once a week or a month. Yeah. Oh, been there in solitary. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, some of that high may fit to be around humans. Like they haven't even got a they can't even play their character, you know what I'm saying? They're so early in from being a demon that they can't even handle a character yet. They gotta be in a cage. True. Just see and pray you see the real darkness to change your words. And see, that's a waste of prayer. I just say, don't do that anymore, Dee Dee. Just stop doing that. Don't pray that they change their ways and stuff because they can't. Okay? Pray that they earn their feathers and wings for being their character perfectly. They're not supposed to change character. They're not allowed to. You can change. We have change in us. Our heart can change and go to God. They can't. You can't. Don't pray for something that can't happen. You see what I'm saying? Pray for them. I.e., hey, thanks for getting that message through. Gypsy, I pray you earn your feathers and wings. See how to do it and why? Thank you. Okay. Thank you for bringing that up because consistently I have showed me saying the prayer Dee Dee just said, and then I show how That's not what we do for them. We do that for us and why we pray to get their feathers and wings for them. See? And that's real. For them. You see? It's an understanding of the game and what can actually prayers that can help them. Thank you for, you know, dying and staying out of my way or doing your job perfectly. That's it. Those are your only options. See? Love you too, Gypsy. Frank, I agree with that prayer. Yeah. But think it through again. Thank you. The horses at the beach will start to stare you, right? Just ignore them. Just see not King. King David against Zasher. King of the Dome is fine. Somebody got to be King of the Dome. I don't want to be. I'm King of the Leaving the Dome. King of the Jews. That's what they call me now. Like, could you shut up about that? No. Thanks. Oh, they always have to follow the script. Thank you, Jason. They receive their spiritual accolades and benefits and uh, push forward by doing their job. We're supposed to do our job of getting to God. That's not their job. Their job is, so we have a game to play, is to play their role. So you say, yeah, you play your role great. Congratulations. You are a great actor at top level. I see why you were brought in to play this character. Thank you, Gypsy. That's, you see, what is he not charismatic enough? Yes, he is too. Come on. Stealing is a sin. Thank you very much. What he's getting at is, uh, you come in as demons, right? Early in the uh, evolution of consciousness through the different forms. You're lowest down on the totem pole of fallen angels. You just got in here playing a shit character, and you're pure evil. We got rules for you because you're just a wayward demon, and which shows your character shows how far we've come. You're stealing, and so that character has to exist. So that's why we need those rules. That's why we need cops. That's why we need police. That's why we need cages because they're like animals. Dudes just come off of the shape shifted out of animal form, and they don't. How do you do this human thing? You're like, oh, you know, uh, a bunny just eats grass. It's like there's grass, you eat it. Same when the demon comes in here. Oh, there's money. Let me just go get it. There's no morality or something like that. They don't. Animals are not like amoral or moral or ethical or unethical. That's not what they don't live that life. You see, and that's where the bottom demon is. They need to understand the most basic rules when they come in here, and they need someone to enforce it on them because yeah. And so we need that help, right? Against them. That's why this spiritual technology is useful that I'm getting into because they're everywhere. Like Gypsy pointed out. Dee my comment got to lead. Yeah, I'm sure. I can see some of your comments, Judy. I can see the comments I read. Nothing disappeared that I read. Okay, we're getting to the end of it, and I feel like I kind of got to the information I wanted to get at. I did. I got through the list, and it didn't feel as cohesive as it ended up being. I just do what God says and start and get into it. And this is very cohesive. Death work started and completed in one go, thanks to the messaging system that we have available to us to give messages through the hive. They're available to us. Yeah, that's wh that's why those ladies, of the hive used to come after me heavy, but now they don't because I will be injecting truth into their hive mind if I was have sex with one of the hive, right? So they're like, "Hey, easy, we're just pretending over here. You just step off, man." Like, ha ha, look at you over there. Found out your whole thingy. Boop. Anyway, once you have the knowledge, they don't beat you with the game with their actions. They'll have no power over us. Okay, more knowledge you have, more power you have. You take a step back, right? You're like, okay, I see what's going on, and then it doesn't have any power over you. You have power over it. You see it for what it is. You're like, oh yeah, that's a good one. I used to study martial arts, right? So I was more interested in the internal work, but one of this Aikido thoughts, right? Which doesn't, it's a martial art which doesn't have any offense. It only has defense. But um, one thought, that school of thought is see the battle, right? See the fight up ahead on your side of the sidewalk, switch sides of the street, walk down the other side of the street, and avoid the battle. See, that's the ultimate martial arts right there. You see the battle and evade it, right? Death prayer. Okay. All right. Everybody having a great day now? Great. Death prayer. Okay. Everybody's day going great. Good. You with me? Okay. That's the theme. All right. Again, thank you for the support, this work, and bringing the truth through. I can't even tell you how difficult it is. I I can't. I really can't. Like it's you have to live it to feel the difficulty of a planned taking of your children and now your grandchild. You can't see on purpose being told about it, but on purpose being told don't get near them. Nothing like we. You probably know this. Like don't get near that. It's like okay, end of time it is. No problem. Spiritual Technology Institute for the End of Time. You God, you know me. What? Come on. I can dance to that tune. That's my favorite tune. Watch me dance. Okay. All right. All right, everyone. You feel me, eh? You feel me where I am? Do you feel me? You feel me where my heart is? My heart is in it to win it. God bless you, Gypsy. You are definitely from the hive, Jesus Christ reincarnated. Very sweet to say. Thank you. The hive told you what I said. What did it just say? I just said they don't want me with the women because of what he just see what I'm saying? They don't want that. They don't. They have consciousness of the other team. They have a high mind. They have their God consciousness. They don't want the other one. That would break it. You see? They don't want it. I'm the agent that creates it here, so they don't want it. Very simply said, thank you, Gypsy. You're very caring for your brethren and sistren here today. Thank you. Uh, Too funny. The devil is the most loyal servant to God. My shadow is very loyal to the God realized one. True, 100%. My shadow never leaves me. Ever, never. What, you walk down the street, your shadow walks somewhere else? No. Does that make my time in the dome great? What does she think about that? Do you have to think about it? Yeah. Kind of helps me want to get out of the dome a minute. You see? You see? Okay. I want to read these final thoughts, and if you don't have anything else, we're going to get out of here. Let's see. All right. Uh, in the dome only, you're not allowed beyond. Thank you, Dee Dee. And that's the point of the game. Dee Dee does it. Ding. Hit that thing. Boop, zip, ding. Winner. You get to keep your doll. Here's your mama doll. And it's how all of us are tested in the spiritual realm to eventually achieve God realization and Christ consciousness. True. Jason, very well put. J Mama, God bless your followers. And God bless. May you earn your feathers and wings. Gypsy and the other team, you're doing your job very well. Off we go back into the game. I'll see you next week. Thanks for sticking with it. I had a lot to say today. I've been saying a lot because I really need you ready before the reaping season. I'm going to get as many as I can. And become that deadline, man, things are going to change. Okay. Okay. All right. Aikido's for horseback riding with knives as swords. It has nothing to do with violence and fighting. Oh no, of course not. Sounds wonderful. Uh, Places not to vacation. All right, Gypsy. God bless you too, Pauletta. At least that's just because you're a coward. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'll be on the beach tonight. There's a fee to try and kill me is still in place. $5,000 with an EBT card, $10,000 donation. Without an EBT card, anyone can try and murder me. I prefer a gun, and we'll get a video. Okay, no problem. That's still in place, even though they took down the videos. Tanini, your girls will begin to see your family's manipulation on their children. I accept your prayer, J Baba. Thank you for praying. You heard it. This lady's prayers. You watch her outcome lately. Uh-huh. The downtrodden start trotting down. J Baba and G. God bless you each one. Until next week. Thank you, Gypsy. God bless you. I'll see you at some point. Everyone, I'll see you at some point too. I'll see you next week. Definitely Sunday at noon. God bless you. Each one of you.